We're talking about Donald Trump's son having to shut down a foundation which raises money for sick children. Just crazy. Then we're going to go into the wow section is going to be about Obama and what he's doing to try to make sure that we have more terrorists in this country. And then the wow, the end, the story time, it's going to be about a story about a mother who whipped her child with a belt. And we're going to get into some of that stuff. So anyway, before we do that, we know we always do the house cleaning stuff, right? Just want to let you know that we officially submitted our app to Apple for final approval. Going to send out some more people testing it. So far, it is going off wonderfully. And I'm hoping that when we get back from Christmas, that I'll be able to tell you that you could go start downloading it if you have an iPhone. Android, we start testing next week. We've got that. Then the other thing we got to put out there for you is that we are getting, you know, my son here and my daughter coming home from school. They're like, Dad, what's all these boxes all over the place? I'm like, we're getting attacked with gifts from all the people who watch Walk and Talk. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, so last night we took some extra time to open the gifts that we've had. There are so many of them, I can't sit here and thank everybody. But we have a few here that Dennis wrote down and he wants to at least acknowledge. So go ahead, Denny.
Yep, let me break out the list.
Yep. Son's got a cheat sheet. It runs in the family, cheat sheets. All right, get out your cheat sheet. Let's go. We got to walk. Got to teach this kid how to walk and talk. Yeah.
All right, so first up, we have Christmas cookies from Kay, Lisa, and Bob in Colorado. Tried some of those last night. They were pretty good. Omaha steak dinner from Jane, which we'll be eating tonight.
Yeah, let me put a pause on that for a second. So we get this whole box in this big, huge box. I'm like, Mary, this thing says Omaha Steaks. She's like, you order this? I said, I didn't order this. And she said, okay, fine. So we opened it up last night. So everybody tonight, when we decorate our tree, we're all eating Omaha Steaks. You guys are getting crazy with these gifts, man. I can't say thank you enough. You're spending too much money. Go ahead, Dennis. What's next?
Next, we have the Eastern Coast Brushwick hat from Anthony Levittown, and wearing that right here.
There we go. Now, Anthony, I don't know if you know this or not, man. You sent us this hat. Anthony does airbrushing. I'm a Levittown guy, Anthony. I don't know if you know that or not. Grew up. Hicksville, Levittown. I was right there on the border. Spent my whole time in Levittown. All those Billy Joel songs, all about Levittown. All right, yeah, what else we got?
We now have more ornaments thanks to Tammy and Joanne from New Jersey.
Christmas ornaments, we'll be putting them up tonight on the tree. All your ornaments that you're sending in, we'll take a picture and show you.
Then we have Christmas socks from Sherry, which are coming in nice and helpful.
I told you, they steal my stuff. And I'm never going to get back those socks now. Go ahead, what else?
And then we got a lovely Christmas card from Mark from Michigan.
Yeah, let me address Mark from Michigan directly here. You know, so last night the whole family's there opening up the stuff, we read all the letters you guys send. You know how I tell you I read all your emails. It takes me forever. That's why I always look so tired. So we get this letter from this man Mark, who has lost his wife, and he's lost his parents. Right? It was his parents too.
Yep.
He's lost pretty much everybody in his family. And he's down to just himself and his two beautiful dogs. Were they huskies?
They are huskies.
They were huskies. Saw the picture of it. And, you know, he says that he's alone most of the time and that the walk and talk is an important part of his life. And I want to tell you something, Mark. You're an important part of my life. All right? Without folks like you, there would be no walk and talk, you know? It would just be walking. I'd be walking by myself periodically with my son here. And I feel you, man. You know, I know what it's like to love family, and I can only imagine what you're feeling. So let me just tell you that on Christmas, I'll be doing a walk and talk. You won't be alone. I'll be here. We communicate back and forth. No politics, no news that day. Just family stuff. Let's do some good stories. And anybody who wants to join me on Christmas morning, walk and talk, it's 11:40 Eastern. Go to the DennisMichaelLynch.com website. Click on the interact button on the top right, and there's a submit news button. I'm going to use that. Put in your header, put in the subject, Christmas walk and talk, and then send me your full name. Maybe I'll have a whole family walk and talk that day, or at least portions of my family, and we'll read them all right, as long as it takes. That's that. All right. And the last thing. that I do that you don't really know about, and I've never shared on television, etc. And that is Instagram, and I think the page is called DML is my dad. All right. So enough of that. That was a long introduction. I appreciate all the gifts, and I know Dennis is moving into a house now at his college campus. He's moving off campus and going to a house, and I'm thinking a lot of the stuff that you've sent me is going to be confiscated, and when I go to try to find it and I can't find it, I think I'll know where it is. That kid right there.
If you have any furniture suggestions, let me know.
Yeah,
my friend Sam, Michael, and I are furnishing, so
yeah,
give us a message.
Yeah, give us a message. You know what? Go buy it yourself. That's the message. All right, you ready? Yeah, you know what? I said, Dad, can I have a sofa? Yeah. Oh, by the way, one of the things that you sent last night, which was fantastic, I've been telling you that, I wish somebody would send me a Ferrari, and somebody sent me a car Ferrari. Brilliant marketing. Okay, anyway, let's get into politics. All right, so Donald Trump sends out a tweet the other day, right? And in the tweet, here's what it's, I'm going to read it to you because I want it to be exact. Here it is. The U.S. must greatly strengthen and expand its nuclear capability until such time as the world comes to its senses regarding nukes. Okay, so he puts this out. And it's funny, when he put that out, I remember reading it, and I was like, why'd he send that out? Must be something, yeah? So now, today, because there's really no other headlines to talk about, the news is just trying to spread this whole, oh my goodness, here's the guy with his finger on the nuke code. The liberal media is just running with this story. MSNBC, not that I ever watched that pathetic channel, Morning Joe, the make pretend conservative who's really a closet liberal, he has his show with his co-host Mika, and they go through this little corny staged event where they're all dressed in their pajamas in front of the crackling fire. I mean, come on, man. Seriously? And you wonder why you're at the bottom of the barrel with the ratings? Put a suit on, right? So anyway, they're there. And Mika claims that she was on the phone with Donald Trump earlier. I have no doubt about that. Trump pretty much talks to these people. And why, I don't know. And so anyway, she says that she brought this thing up to Trump, and that Trump said, yeah, I have no problem with an arms race, a nuclear arms race. And, if that's the case, that's what it's going to be. We'll always have more nukes than everybody else, and we'll outlast them all. Okay. Well, probably not the greatest conversations for Donald to be having right now, but I have come to a point where I realize the fact that he is always going to give us the unexpected. And so, it just becomes the norm. Now, his team has sort of raced to his defense and being like, listen, he's not pushing for nuclear, armament. He's not pushing for, more nukes to be developed, et cetera, so forth. And so I wanted to give you a little bit of history on this stuff, very little tiny stuff, in case you don't know. Because I know a lot of you send me the emails that say, DML, I learned so much stuff. And I know a lot of times you get caught in these conversations at Christmas or Hanukkah or Thanksgiving or wherever you are, or your neighbors, they say something, you pretend like you know what they're talking about and you don't. Well, here you go. Here's a little information. First of all, and for those of you who already know this stuff, just bear with me. I'm going to be quick on this. What does it mean, a nuclear arms race? That basically means that all countries sort of race to the, I need to have more than he does. Because if he's got 5, I need to have 6. And because everybody's so afraid of nuclear weapons, they're afraid that if their competitor, if you will, or if their arch enemy has X amount, they need X plus 1. So that's a nuclear arms race. So like here we are with the whole thing with Iran. Obama giving this deal for Iran to eventually be able to go out and do whatever they want to do with our money, by the way. As far as nukes go, everybody else now in the Middle East is like, wait a second. If Iran's got nukes, I need even more nukes. And if you're Israel, you're like, right? Rightfully so. That's a nuclear arms race. Now everybody starts racing to get more nuclear arms. Now, during the Cold War, that was the whole thing. Everybody was trying to, at least the US and Russia, were trying to create as many nukes as they possibly could to outdo each other. But that has now since changed. And what has been happening is that everybody has been spending, pulling back their spending on nuclear development, and they have been somewhat, or at least claiming to, disarm, and now everybody is supposed to have less nuclear warheads. But you know what? I'm thinking the US is probably the only one really doing it. because we're the really only honest country on the map that I trust anyway. Remember that whole thing, trust but verify, with Ronald Reagan? You know, trust but verify, that wasn't it with Obama. He ain't verifying anything, you know, and anything he would verify, would you believe it anyway? So am I with Trump on this one? Absolutely. You have to understand something else. And although you probably understand it, nobody ever talks about it. And that's why you chime into DML every day. You know, over time, people have caught up to us. What do I mean by that? Well, think about it. We created the automobiles, and now you have automobiles being pretty much manufactured anywhere, right? We created so many different things. We're the first to create so many different things, and yet nobody else was ever as advanced as us. But with time, advancements are becoming widespread. Everybody's getting stronger. Everybody's getting smarter. People are getting more advanced in other nations. And oh, by the way, many of those advancements, or the education that those other countries are now instilling in their nuclear programs, or their military programs, or their IT programs, who do you think taught them that stuff? Us. Yeah, us. Little cheat sheet here for you. We did an article about this. I don't know, maybe a week or two ago, and it didn't get that much play, and I was shocked. I was shocked it didn't get that much play. I only had about 1,100 shares, which is kind of light for DennisMichaelLynch.com. If we see something that only gets 1,100 shares, we're like, wow, we must not have really pushed this good enough. Chinese students, okay? Right now, in the entire world, there are about 5 million students studying abroad, okay? I'm gonna make sure I got my stats right. 1/6, 1 out of every 6 students that is studying abroad is from China. Now, this coming year, in 2017, we are expecting to take in 350,000 Chinese students. 350,000. That is double the amount that we had in 2011. The number is supposed to skyrocket to 450,000 by 2020. Now, they're coming here. You think they're coming here to learn liberal arts? Huh? You think they're coming here to learn about how Liberace learned how to play the piano? No. You think they're coming here so this way they could learn about, oh, I don't know, what else they teaching in college nowadays, Dennis? Stupid stuff.
Safe spaces.
Safe. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much. I knew there's a reason why I brought him, other than the fact that he's drop dead handsome. Any single girls out there? He doesn't have a girlfriend. Gotta fix that. Anyway, actually, you know what? You don't need a girlfriend until after school is over. God knows I'll be paying for her too. So, anyhow, safe spaces. You think the Chinese students are coming here because they want a safe space? Or because they need a safe space? No. They're coming here and they're taking STEM programs. Science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Yeah. And so we're teaching these kids all the things they need to know about nuclear and fission and all this other different stuff. And they're going home to China and being like, yes, hello, Mr. Government. Here's what I learned in America. Let's apply it to our own country. And that's where we are. You get it? You know, we empower our own enemies. Stupid. So when we sit here and have Donald Trump say, look, you know, we're always going to be stronger. And if they're going to race, we'll race faster. You know, if that's what they're going to do. We trust nobody. I trust nobody. And we're going to outlast everybody. Because my job is not to make a nice. My job is to make a safe. And if we're safe and everybody else wants to be nice, I'll play that game too. I'm more than happy to reach my hand out and be your friend. But do not think for 1 minute that I am dumb, like President Barack Hussein Obama, who's going to trust you at every single last step of the way and then get caught with his pants down. No. I'm Donald J. Trump, president-elect, about to be the president, maybe the best president in our generation, in our lifetime. And I am telling you right now, you're not going to screw with the safety of the American people. Donald J. Trump understands that the advancements that are taking place across the world put us in danger. Look at cyber attacks. No joke. Look at cyber attacks. I've told you this before. When it comes to war, yeah, although we are depleting our military, he'll stop that. We are the most powerful force there is in the world. However, when it comes to cyber warfare, we're on equal plane. We're on absolute equal plane with the Russians and the Chinese and the Iranians and the Indians and the Pakistanis. You know, there's no out-muscling somebody on .com in the back rooms. There's no out-muscling them. We are on level playing field. And you wait, unless President Trump gets in there and does some magical stuff real quick. I would not be shocked at all. And you know that I'm not a fearmonger, right? I don't do that sort of thing. I would not be shocked at all if one day you woke up, if you lived on the East Coast, and you'd be like, honey, did you pay the electric bill? She's like, yeah, I did. You sure? Because the electric's all off. I can't get anything. What are you talking about? Can't get anything? Refrigerator's not working, and the TV's not working, and the toaster's not working. And gee, I'm looking across the street and down the block, and none of this stuff's working too. Maybe nobody's paying the electric bill. And then suddenly, you go in your car, and you're like, let me go get out some money. And you try to get to the ATM, and you see that the bank's not working. And then all of a sudden, you're like, wait a second. What the hell's going on here? And then you figure out, somehow, some way, that the electrical grid has been shut down. Yeah. How did they do that? Well, maybe the Chinese or the Iranians hacked in, shut it down, holding it ransom. You want the magic code? Sure, you get the magic code. Let these people out of whatever, or pay this amount of money, or whatever it may be. Yeah. So how do you protect yourself against that? You think F-16s are going to protect against that? You think nukes are going to protect against that? No. Okay? So, when President Trump says that we will outlast and outdo everybody, I'm not afraid of that. Is it really going to strike a nuclear arms race? Is everybody going to start to invest more? No, what he's doing is he's sending a very clear message. It's like going into a bar and having a rowdy guy, and you pulling up to the side and just quietly saying to him through your Twitter account, letting you know now, I'm fully immersed in all phases of martial arts. I have a triple black belt. I have 16 different guns on my body. And I will tell you that if you go in the wrong direction, you will be eliminated in less than the blink of an eye. So let's just get along and don't be rowdy, don't be stupid, and don't put anybody in this places in harm's way. And we'll all be okay. And that's that. So that's what a nuclear arms race is. And this is why you should not be frightened by Donald J. Trump sending out his tweet. And no, he is not establishing nuclear policy through his Twitter account. Although there are days when I wish that he would put his hand on a golf club instead of his cell phone. All right, now, because I wouldn't have to spend 5 to 10 minutes explaining this kind of stuff. We could be talking about something else. Now we transition. We transition into Eric Trump and the patheticness of the liberal left. In case you were living underneath a rock, Hillary Clinton and her husband, William, also known as the president who was impeached for having an affair, or at least, I don't know if you call it an affair, maybe just sexually abusing a young intern who was vulnerable. They have a thing called the Clinton Foundation. And that Clinton Foundation is accused by many of selling favors, selling the United States in exchange for donations. Yes. And in many cases, it has cost her the presidency. People are uncomfortable with the fact that she did deals with foreign nations, took in tens of millions of dollars from foreign nations, many of them who harbor terrorists. Yeah, all right, I gotta put my gloves on, it's getting cold. Anyhows, Eric Trump, unlike the Clintons, does not use his charity as a way of getting special favors. what he does is every year he holds a golf outing. Hold on. In which he raises $1.5 million. He has been doing it since 2007. He uses that money to help children with cancer. He donates to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. And it's funny because I only donate consistently to one place, and that is to St. Jude's, because I don't have to question where the money goes. I don't have to question whether some person at the top of the charity is lining their pockets like Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton. All right, I don't have to do any of that. I know that my money that goes to that hospital is helping some young child fight terminal disease. Yeah. So the fact that Eric Trump goes out and does that, uses his celebrity, uses his network, uses his time to try to help children with cancer is not only admirable, but it is very American. We need more of that. We need more. I still call him a kid, although he's worldly in his business, and he's not really a kid. He's a kid to me. I'm old enough to be his father, and so I look at what he's doing, and I am very proud of him. Just like my son. I'm going to touch your horn here for a second. My son works with at his college. He works with Special Olympics, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Special Olympics. He spearheads fundraisers. Spearheaded another fundraiser for a guy with cancer. He raises more money for his programs, all these programs they have there, than anybody else that has been in his fraternity for years and years and years. He's a leading fundraiser, okay? He goes out there, and because people trust him, and because people know he has a good heart, and I can't tell you how many times I have tried to reach out to him on a Saturday afternoon and been told, Dad, I can't talk right now. I'm like, what do you mean you can't talk right now? He's like, yeah, I'm doing the stuff with the special needs kids. Come on, you know what I mean? This is, so I know exactly what it's like, knowing that your kid is out doing this sort of thing. Donald J. Trump's very proud of his son doing that, and that kind of money really helps. But no. The left, in its attempt to just try to totally dismantle Thank you very much for this day. Thank you for giving me a beautiful son who's walking and talking with me. Although he's really just doing walking. We'll get him to talk soon. But I appreciate it all. You've blessed me in this life, and you have blessed me with all the gifts that these people send me and support. And I appreciate it every day more and more than I did the day before. All right, get back into our regular scheduled program. Where is this kid? All right, watch him. Sometimes he hits me from behind. I don't even know it. Who's following me? Yeah. All right. You know, all you dads out there. Doesn't matter how big he ever gets. Doesn't matter how strong he ever is. Can never take down a dad, right? He would never do such a thing. He gives me kisses. All right, so, but we are going to talk about when I punished him when he was a little kid. Very effective punishment, by the way. All right, so we get back. So now the liberals are very unhappy, mad even, demanding Eric Trump dump the foundation. Dump it. Well, why would they do that, DML? Doesn't make any sense. He's helping kids with cancer. He's not getting money, for special interests, and he's not selling America. And he was doing this long before his family was ever into politics. Goodness me. 2007 he's been doing this. $15 million he's raised. Why? Because they're afraid that donors are going to give money to this foundation and in return expect favors. See how much Hillary Clinton has poisoned our system, right? Now, the thing that I can't understand for the life of me, and I know you're thinking the same thing I am, because we are the smartest people in the room, why weren't they up in arms with Hillary? Why weren't they telling her to close the Clinton Foundation? Why weren't they writing reports? Because let me tell you something, the Clinton Foundation has taken in just a little bit more than $15 million. Yeah, just a little bit more than $15 million. And oh, by the way, they're taking it from governments who also fund ISIS. I defy you. Defy you. I will cut off my arm if you find one donor who out with a tweeter says it's ridiculous that my son has to stop raising money for children with cancer because of the left here, because I'm the president. Now, here's how it would work, actually. If Eric Trump continued with that foundation, now that his father is the president, it would bring so much more attention and shine a light on this organization more than it had in the past. So instead of raising $15 million in X amount of year, 9 years, maybe he could raise $150 million. And why would that be a bad thing, to give $150 million to kids with cancer? Please explain that to me. You know, because I didn't go to college. I dropped out of college 5 times. And so a lot of times I can't understand things. So this may be one of those very clear to understand things that you understand if you go to college, but I didn't go to college. Let me ask an expert. Do you understand why it is? Why? Why? Is there something that I didn't learn about donating?
I guess not. Must have been the lesson that they skipped.
There you go.
Too busy with safe spaces.
Safe spaces. Safe spaces. So, unfortunately, the children of St. Jude's will not be receiving any money from Eric Trump's foundation because his father's president. Instead of bringing more light and more money to solve some of these diseases that are tackling our children and taking small little lives way, way too early in their overall life, we have to say farewell.
Thanks, Hillary.
Yeah, who?
Thanks, Hillary.
See? Smart kid, DML. Doing a good job. Smart kid. Yep. How many millennials say that? Yeah, DML. We're loving it. Wasn't easy getting them there. All the forces against me. You know, sending them to these liberal schools here. All the forces. They wanted to pull him into the climate change thing. They wanted to pull him into the whole, you know, Trump's a racist thing. Yeah, but he knows his dad is a little bit smarter than these people. And so he's listening to me. But don't tell anybody. So, anyhow, as we walk and talk, it's time for the wow section. Wow! As if the last story wasn't a wow. All right, so just a little preparation here for everybody, especially the newbies. Although I don't think we have little newbies. Our number is low today, 4.2. Maybe you people are out buying Christmas gifts? I don't know. Maybe Facebook's like, Scrooge. I don't know. But 4,200 is still, I don't know, 1,200 to 1,500 more than CNN has right now. Yeah, I don't know. I got probably people on YouTube too. 5,000 people. Imagine 5,000 people right now all listening to a guy walk around with a Trump hat on and a handsome looking kid. What'd you get your father for Christmas?
Followers.
There you go. Followers. All right. So, anyway, here's the wow. You ready for this one? You ready for this? Doon, 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 doon. So we have this program after 9/11 where there is this sort of, I don't know, I want to make sure I say this stuff the right way because, you know, I've been getting more trolls lately. I guess that means we're doing a good job. They'll hold me accountable. Some of you don't know what I'm talking about. So it's time for cheat sheet. Now, cheat sheet's in the other pocket. My mother's freaking out right now. She's like, I paid so much money for those teeth in the dentist, you're gonna crack them. Okay. Cheat sheet. Because I'm gonna get it perfect. It's not because I don't know it. Trust me. It's an immigration issue. I can tell you right now. I know it back and forth. But I want to get the exacts. I want to say it exactly. All right? Because I remember I told you the other day, I had somebody come on here and say that I was an evil man because I gave President Obama a fake name. Yeah, she was all up in arms because she said that I would give him a fake name by putting Hussein in his name. Yeah, this is the stuff I get. Okay, so anyway, it is called the National Security Entry Exit Registration Program, also known as NSEERS, NSEERS. What'd you say?
What's the acronym?
NSEERS.
NSEERS.
Yeah, okay.
So weird.
Okay, so what happens is, I'm going to give it all because I don't want anybody to give me anything. In 2011, we stopped this program. What's the program, DML? The program is that it basically tracks, and it's used to track young Muslim Arab men. I mean, look, let's just get right to the corner. That's really what it is. We put it in place right after 9/11. All right? It was basically a registry and a fingerprinting program. Now, Trump's coming in. We know that he wants to create, or at least he's referenced that he wants to create a registry, right? Now, when you take a look at what just took place with the stuff over in Berlin with this guy, who, by the way, this morning was shot down. Yeah, by 2. And you know what? They know how they got him? They got him on a mistake. Yeah, they stopped him for some reason, and he had an accent that was different. And they're like, wait a second, where are you from? And he came up with some sort of crazy place, and they're like, no, you're not. And that's it. He's over. He's dead. Yeah, he's up there now. He thinks he's got his virgins. Note to lunatic, there are no virgins waiting for you in heaven. Sorry. Sorry. Shocker. Shocker. Plot alert. Yep. No virgins waiting at all. All right? For you radical people watching right now, there are no virgins waiting for you. Allah does not have access to virgins. So anyhow, we go back. So we're fingerprinting. We're doing this registry. And Trump is coming in. And he's like, hey, I'm not letting these people come in and just blow people up. I'm just not going to let it happen. And, oh, by the way, every time it's the same kind of thing. If it looks like a radical Muslim, and it is a radical Muslim, and it sounds like a radical Muslim, and they're screaming things before they kill people, it's radical Muslims. Not radical Catholics, not radical Jews, not radical Martians, but radical Islamics. And so I'm going to try to cap this problem. Doesn't mean I don't want any Muslim people. Doesn't mean that I hate Muslims. It just means that I'm going to put better controls in so this way people don't die for the sake of nothing. All right. So now that Obama knows that Trump is basically going to utilize this program that's in place, which, by the way, according to the, let's just let everybody into our country group, it has this little NSEERS has made it so this way 13,000 people have been deported. As if that's a bad thing. As if it's like NG. What does NG stand for? No good. You guys know that, right? Yeah. So instead, Obama says, what else can I do? What other great artifacts here? And what kind of glass can I break and shatter and destroy before I leave? So what does he do? Puts an end to the program. No more. It's over. Over and out. ACLU says, fantastic job, Mr. Barack Hussein Obama. Fantastic job. It's so un-American to have something like that. Yeah, okay. Racial profiling. Did you ever think that maybe? Talk to a cop. Talk to any New York City cop. Anyone. And ask them, how much did profiling help you in stopping crime? Be like, it was key. Now that I don't have it anymore, I feel a little nervous. Yeah, talk to anyone. They might not, they may not say it out loud. They might have to say it quietly because God knows that if they said it out loud, oh my God, they'd be held upside down. So they say it to you like, shh, don't say anything. But yeah, we got to profile. If we don't profile people, we're screwed. Yeah, sorry. You know what I mean? That's what it is. If terrorists looked like 6 foot, 220-pound white guys wearing Trump hats, walking around the streets in East Long Island, I would expect for a cop to stop. Yeah, I would. I would definitely expect. Yeah, and I'd do whatever I had to do to show the identification and give him my name so this way he knows that I'm not a maniac. Could you blame me? No, not at all. So he's got to stop this program. But I have a news alert. Donald J. Trump will reactivate everything he needs to reactivate. Oh, yes. You can take whatever you want down, but Trump will put it right back up. That's the way it's going to work, right? We go back to what Newt Gingrich said yesterday. President Barack Hussein Obama, his legacy will be a thing of the past. within 1 year. And I think that's 12 months too long. So, that's the wow. Yep, President Barack Hussein Obama trying to make it a little easier for the radicals that he will not address by name, to make it a little easier for them to run you down while you're doing your Christmas shopping. Yeah. All right, so we're going to go to story time. A little faster today. We're going through the program a little faster today. Going to try to spend a little more time with the youngsters. Before you know it, they grow up, they're gone, they're going back to school. Ugh, it's terrible. Not only that, we have to prepare those beautiful steaks sent to us. Who sent those steaks? What's the name? Look it out. Get the cheat sheet. Whoever you are, thank you so much. I'm going to eat it. Jane?
No, wait.
No. Who sent this?
Nope, it was Jane.
Jane. Omaha Steaks. Let me tell you, I'm Rare Plus. That's how I make my steak. Rare Plus. These guys are all like, medium. Mary. Want a good Mary story? Real quick, before we get into the story that we're talking about? When I first started dating Mary, we'd go out to, you would go out to dinner, and I'd order a steak. She'd be like, yeah, all right, I'll order a steak too. So I get mine. Yeah, could I have mine Rare Plus, please? Well, actually, Rare Plus, I just only started doing Rare Plus. Used to be medium rare. I have a steak, please. Medium rare. Yeah. All right, maybe a little mashed potatoes. Mary would be like, yeah, can I have a steak too? But I would like mine done well. I'm like, well, what's the point of getting it done well? She's like, yeah, and I'll have the mashed potatoes too. And can you bring me out a bottle of ketchup? I'd be like, all right, note to self. This is a problem. Gonna have to cure this. What was the father thinking? Who puts ketchup on a well-done steak? And then, we'd be in the restaurant, and they were all looking over anyway because she was such a beauty. Then all of a sudden, it was like she ripped out the ketchup and started putting it on a steak, and people were like, poor guy. Yeah. It's all right. I told you, Mary's mother died when she was just 5 years old. And and her father was New York City, one of the top guys in the New York City Fire Department. So, and she had all older brothers. So it was sort of like, whatever she was eating, sort of just whipped together. Her father used to, I think ketchup was the big thing. Father used to make him tuna fish with ketchup. Who does that? Yeah. So we had to reinvent everything when she came in. Yeah, I had to tell her things like, people put mayonnaise in tuna fish, right? Not ketchup. She's like, really? Oh, yeah. And nobody puts ketchup on steak, honey. Try Worcestershire. Try a little Worcestershire. And what about coming off the well? What about maybe a little medium? Let's just go to medium. Yeah. I saved her life when it comes to food. Yes. Anyway, let's get into the last part here. So we just did a story this morning about a mother who was arrested because she whipped her kid with a belt because the kid peeked into the Christmas gifts. So anyway, and for the youngsters that you're listening, Santa brings gifts. He comes down the chimney and all, brings gifts. But sometimes mommy and daddies, well, we fill the overflow, or people send in, we buy gifts for our cousins and stuff, and you think it's for you, but it's not for you. It's really for your cousins. So just for the youngsters who watch here. So this way you'd be like, what was Mr. Dml talking about with the whole thing? That's what I'm talking about. Anyhow, so she whips him with a belt, and now she's arrested. So I said, you know what? This would be a good story time. What do we think about hitting our kids? Is it good or is it bad? So, I have a story for everything. Here comes the story. This is a 2-for-1. When I was a little guy, I don't know, 3-4 years old, our neighbor was my babysitter, Laura. Hey, Laura. And so anyhow, 4 years old. I was 4 years old. And so I was out playing, on the front yard, and I decided to go next door, and I was playing hide-go-seek, pretty much with myself. Nobody was trying to seek for me. How sad. Imaginary friends, maybe. And so I went over, and back in those days, the dining room tables, you remember, you used to have long tablecloths. You used to hide the beautiful wooden table with the long tablecloths. So, the people next door, Laura's parents, had a long tablecloth over the table. And so I decided that I was going to hide underneath that. So I just walked into their house as if it was nothing, because that's what we used to do in the old days. Remember that? You should just be able to walk up to your neighbor's house and not get shot. Yeah. So anyhow, we went, and I go underneath the table. And well, one of the reasons why you go to your neighbor's house is because, they all used to speak English. Now we have neighbors who don't speak English. Yours truly. Yep. So anyhow, so I go in, I go underneath the table, and I hide. About 20 minutes go by, and now all of a sudden I'm hearing everybody scream my name. My mother's outside. Dennis! Dennis! I hear Laura. Dennis! I hear everybody screaming my name. And I'm thinking, it's great. Oh, finally, somebody's coming to look for me. Yeah. Then all of a sudden the screams started to tie into cries. And then I went to the whole, I'm scared now, and I'm going to say where I am. So now I hear police cars. Yeah. And then I hear my father's voice, which is like going up to the lion's cage. Dennis! Yeah. Now I'm definitely not coming out of that table. So lo and behold, they're searching for me. They're thinking somebody stole me, and it's just a nightmare. Oh, there's people waiting for them. Somebody wants to pull into the driveway. I gotta interrupt the story for a second. And they're like, who's the guy talking on the phone? Yeah, Biden sticker, no doubt. So, yes, we can't. Yep, liberal, everything out here. So, all of a sudden, cops are there, people screaming. They think I'm gone. My mother's crying like a baby. Laura turns around and says, maybe I should look under the table. She lifts it up, and there I am. My father, the U.S. Marine, 1-9 Marine, also known as the Walking Dead, very violent man, comes over and is so enraged that he couldn't find me. And the rage is not mad. He was just so upset and worked up. So he grabs me, and he literally smacks my ass for the 60 feet that goes down Laura's driveway, the 100 feet that go across my house, the 60 feet up my driveway, and the however many steps it took to get to my bedroom. Then, when I was done with that smacking, he took out his belt and whipped me 2 or 3 times. I can tell you that I have never felt such pain in my life, and that's how I could recall this story so vividly, despite the fact I'm 47 and it happened when I was 4. Yes. My mother came upstairs and said, don't do that to him. But it was already done. And so, anyhow, I can tell you that I never hid under a table again. But nonetheless. So, I didn't, that wasn't the first time. My father used to rough me around all the time. So, but those days were like that, right? I think in many cases. So when I had kids, I did not want to do that same sort of thing. All right? So, one of the things I did was I went down more of the mental punishment. Made you think about it versus made you feel it. So, this guy right here, okay? Fast forward, I don't know, 30 years, 27 years. Mary and I, we've got our other, I think at the time we had maybe 1 or 2. We had 2 other little kids at the time. We have 4 now, we had 2. So we had a total of 3. They were all small. How old are you? 7? 6? 6, 7? 6, 7 years old. So we're at a swim meet, and we're at this I don't know, it's a like a beach club, right? And he is swimming in the swim meet, and the place is packed. I mean packed, wall to wall people, to the extent that if the fire department was to come, we'd get kicked out. It was that many people. So I'm talking to him. There's a fence between us, like a little chain link fence. He's inside the pool area. I'm outside the pool area. Mary's down along the beach with the 2 kids. His meet is done. I want to get the hell out of this place, right? So, lo and behold, I said to him, listen to me. Don't move. I'm going to get your mother and your sister and your brother, and we're going to go, okay? And he says, okay, Dad. All right, don't move. I didn't say it in Chinese. I just said, don't move. So I go to get Mary, whatever, and there was no reason why. It wasn't like I left my kid, so I'm not to blame. They were all there. Everybody was there. There's nowhere he could go. right? So I walk, I don't know, 20 feet. And as I walk 20 feet, and I'm one of those guys who, you see, oh, I walk with Mary every day. I'm a worrywart. Am I a worrywart, Dennis?
Yes.
Okay. All right, you're not allowed to go to the bathroom without saying, hey, Dad, I just want to let you know I'm going to the bathroom. I'd be like, all right, be safe in there. All right. So anyhow, so I'm like, looking back at him, looking, and I see Mary coming. I'm like, oh, all right, I don't have to go anymore. She's coming. She gets it, So I go back to get Dennis, and that quickly, he's gone. Gone. Yeah. So a little gone. Leaves me. And I'm like, Denny. Nothing. Denny. Nothing. I'm looking around, looking in the pool. I kind of climb up on the fence a little bit. He's not in the pool. Nobody's in the pool. They're doing all the awards on the loudspeaker, so loud. At that point, my world is like this. Where's my kid? Where's my kid? So Mary's like, what did you do with my son? I didn't do anything with your son. He's standing right here. I told him not to go anywhere. I went 20 feet. I came back and he's gone. So now I'm like in panic, Like, where's my kid? Somebody took my kid. So I'm about to go grab the microphone, and be like, Dennis! I can't even get to the microphone. It's so packed, so crowded. This kid, where'd you go?
To the edge of the beach.
Where'd you go?
To the beach.
Why'd you go to the beach?
Because I wanted to go to the water.
Okay, you get it? Wasn't listening. Bad move. So I said to Mary, I'm going to get on the loudspeaker. She says, okay. I take the two kids. She's going down now, frantic, trying to find her son. Mother's instinct. It's like, doot, 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 doot. Where would my non-listening son go? Doot, 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 doot. Edge of the water, beach. He's going to go to the most dangerous place. I don't know how this kid got over that fence. I don't know how he got to the edge of the... to this day, it remains a mystery. I'm thinking he might be able to fly when I'm not looking. And he gets down there. Mary gets him and comes back. And you can imagine that I wanted to react just like my father reacted. I was like... But then I remembered that belt going across me. Ooh, couldn't do it. So I get him in the car. We get in the car, and I'm pretending everybody, bye, it was a great swim meet, bye, bye. Meanwhile, steam is... This kid... He knew it. He was in massive trouble because Bad Daddy was coming out. So we get home, and all the way in the car, I can't even scream at this loud. I'm like, don't you ever walk away again. Nobody else in the car is saying anything. So it's probably the longest ride home he ever had. Yes?
One of them.
Okay. So we get home, and I'm like, get inside. Now he's thinking he's going to get his ass whooped. And I was thinking it maybe too. I'm like, nope, I'm going to be smarter than my dad. Not going to do that. So what we do is we go inside. Oh boy, here comes a CNN clip. I can see it right now. Yeah, Wolf Blitzer. Dennis Michael Lynch has announced his run for president. And before you think about voting for him like you did Donald J. Trump, we'd like to just play this clip that he did in a series called Walk and Talk years ago. Hey, what's up, pal? I don't know who it is, but he's waving. Maybe he's a listener. We've had that before a few times. And Wolf Blitzer will be like, watch this clip from years ago when he had a walk and talk with his young son, who now, by the way, is the governor of the state of New York. All right. So anyhow, he's going to do that. And I'm like, all right, Dennis, come here. So I stand him. We pause. We always pause during the videos. He's a rookie. So I stand him on the tile, little square tile in the kitchen. Let's redo it, Dennis. Yeah, stand there with those socks. Yes. So he stood in the tile, right? Here we go. I said, now put your arms out. Okay, put your arms out. Come on, I'm embarrassing you. He put his arms out. And I put books, one book after the next on his arms, so his arms crazy. And I said, come on, let's go. And I said to him, don't you ever leave your daddy again. Say it. Don't you ever leave your daddy again. And every time he said it, I put another book on his hands until his arms were trembling. How many times did you say that made you say it?
Felt like 100.
100? How long?
Pretty long. I have biceps now.
His biceps. I'll tell you what he never did again. Never ran away. Ever, ever. Ever, ever. It made him say it over and over again, holding books. Took the books back. His arms were trembling a little bit. He cried. His mother told him to go up to his room. He's lucky she didn't kick his ass. And that was it. It was a good punishment. Never did it again. A little bit of pain in terms of having to hold the books. Didn't put too many on. Did I put too many on? Maybe.
It was a good library stack.
There you go. Builds character, builds strength, you know? So I didn't hit him, and I gave him the punishment, and he never did it again. You know what I mean? Yeah, play it out, Wolf Blitzer. That's that. So I do not believe in hitting your child with a belt. I know that was the old ways in the old days. I don't believe it. Now, there have been a few other times when I've had to take care of business, but overall, he's a good boy.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we're gonna go home and say, Dad, you embarrassed me. Some of my friends must watch Walk and Talk. They sent me photos. Yeah, well, there you go. You gotta kiss your son. You know what I'm saying? All right, well, I can see the distance. We're gonna cut this a little short today. Anyhow, I will be walking and talking with you tomorrow, Saturday, as always. We have so many incredible stories right now on DennisMichaelLynch.com. Today is one of those busy news days, man. Pumping out stories like mad. And that app, a couple days away. And you'll never have to wonder whether or not you got one or not. Nope, all the time. Really cool app in Apple's lap right now. And we should have it. Now, I will be with you, like I said, on Christmas. For those of you who just came in early, or late, I should say. I said it earlier. You want to go to DennisMichaelLynch.com. You want to hit on the interact button. Down there is a submit news. I want you to submit the news because it goes right to my desk, by the way. And so submit news and write with you on Christmas or Christmas walk and talk, whatever you want to do. Just put Christmas in there and I'll know. Give me your name. Give me where you live. Tell me a little something about yourself. Something about Christmas. Something that happened to you. Give me one of your stories. We're going to talk Christmas. We're going to do a walk and talk. I'll try to pull some of my kids out. You know, Dennis doesn't play with Tonka toys anymore. But, you know, maybe I'll take him. Maybe I'll take my other daughter, my Instagram daughter, and take my other son, and we'll walk and talk, and we'll read some of these notes. And we'll just have like a big, huge family Christmas, you know what I mean? Especially for those of you out there, like my buddy in Michigan, who says, hey, man, I'm all alone on Christmas. No, you're not. Not for at least an hour and a half. You know, we'll be with you, all right? And that's that. Also, let's see, what else can we tell you? Instagram. My daughter started this Instagram thing. I promised her. I said, you know what? You're going to get me saying this for 5 days in a row, and then I'm stopping. Unless you beg me again, and then I'll do it again. But anyway, Instagram. DML is my dad. I think she posted a picture of me and this guy earlier today. She does like 1 or 2 a day. She, I don't know, puts up stuff that I probably wish that she wouldn't put up. But she's having fun. She's my daughter. I love her. And apparently you guys like it because she's got like 4,000 people already. So that's it. All right. So I can't let 2 days go without singing you a song. So I'm going to embarrass my son at the same time. He's like, Dad, don't sing. I just take that out of the program. Don't sing. And yes, Dad, I'm going to sing. All right? So I'll tell you what I'm saying. A little romantic here. When this guy was a little kid, Dad, you're supposed to end early. I always stay later. Always give a little extra, Dennis. All right. When this guy was a little boy, you know, he was torture. Torture in terms of nighttime. Oh, there's another good story. I gotta tell this story. Tell the story. How did I not tell the story in the story? Okay, so anyway, he was tortured. He was colicky. Nightmare, man. Nightmare. We would put him down. His bedroom was right next to ours. We had a very little tiny house. 2 bedroom, 1 bath, little ranch when Mary and I first got married and this guy was there. So we would put him in his crib and Mary and I would go, you know, in the next room. There's only the paper thin wall between us. And I'd like lay down and go, and he'd be like, and Mary would be pounding on me. What are you doing? I said, I coughed. She's like, you won't come out. And I'm like, oh, this kid. So we used to take him and put him in the in like the carrier, right? And I'd be driving around at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. So this wacko got himself all tired and everything, and he'd fall asleep in the car seat. And I'd be like, and Mary'd be like, okay, let's go back. And we'd go back into the house. I'd be like, I had to go to the bathroom. She'd be like, go outside. And one of those things. Every single night for years. This is what this young boy did. But now he grew up and he's not colicky anymore. Thank goodness. But anyway, I used to sing him a song. And it started to help him go to sleep. Right? So, this is the song I used to sing him. My father used to sing this to me periodically. I think, I don't know, very rarely, but for some reason I remember it. It's a Marine Corps hymn. I only know little parts of it, but I'll tell you what, it's fantastic. If you take the first parts of this hymn and you go to Google, I have found the whole song, but it's this. go to sleep. It's getting late. My watch says it's 8:30. In an hour I must go. When I'll be back, boy, I don't know. While I'm gone, you'll be the man. Help your mama if you can. It's a big job, I can see, for a boy who's just past 3. Now, my boy, close your eyes. You shouldn't see your daddy cry. I cry even doing it. I used to cry all the time doing it to him every night. He'd go, and then I'd close the door and be like, ah! Yeah. So I used to just make up extensions to the song just to keep it longer until he was totally out. Yes. And then what we started to do is we used to just like be like, you know what? Just let him cry himself to sleep. And then we would cry ourselves to sleep too. God forbid I tried to go, lean over at nighttime and give his mom a kiss. She'd be like, don't touch me till he's sleeping. And that was that. Too much information, DML. Yeah, I know. All right, well, until tomorrow. Say goodbye, Dennis.
Have a good Christmas.
Say thank you for all the gifts.
And thank you for all the gifts. Pretty warm this walk.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You gotta always make sure these kids are saying thank you. You're welcome. Although he's a very, very well-mannered boy. Yes, good boy. He's grown up to be a very good man. Doesn't drive too fast. Does all the right things. Talks to his mother the right way. He's a good man. Good brother to his sisters and brother. Yeah, good grades too. What are you getting? 3.4 this semester? 3.2? 3.3? 4.0.
One day.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, so that being said, thank you for giving my son a little time to talk to you. I know it's going to be. DML, put him on next time for an hour. I know, maybe I will. Got to get him adjusted to this though, It's not easy to hold the phone for an hour. My shoulder's all tendonitis. All right, till tomorrow. God bless you. God bless you, troops. God bless the United States of America. And God bless this young man behind me. May he have a wonderful, wonderful life. Alrighty.